So let's just kick this up. And if it's review for you, you can just drop off. If it's not, hopefully it's helpful. I'm not sure how long this lunch and learn will take because it's going to be quick to the point. Because again, I am on the road. But it came from the feedback, right? So all these lunch and learns are really coming from the feedback that you guys are giving at the end of these lunch and learns. So if you like it, if you don't like it, even better. We want to hear what we're doing wrong so we can adjust, and we want to make sure that these things are valuable. So if you have any specific topics that you want us to cover, that's your opportunity at the end of this lunch and learn. When you get the survey, throw it in there, and we will tailor these things to what we hear from the audience. So what we heard a lot over the past month, really it's an ongoing theme, is just posting tips on LinkedIn and engagement for anyone who has been building a curated network of primary and referral prospects, right? That's what we talk about on an ongoing basis here. How to actually make sure your message is getting in front of those valuable eyeballs on an ongoing basis. So we're going to go through actionable tips today, how to do that with LinkedIn, mid to bottom of the funnel. If it's your first time here, who am I? Why should you care? I run BizNexus. That is the platform for broker rep deals. So if you're looking to buy a business, we have broker inventory. We have a lot of inventory up there these days. I think we've got over 7,000 deals. And then if you're looking to sell a business, we'll match you with the best deal team, with the best intermediary to help you get the deal done. And then we also have BizNexus Concierge, which used to be known as BN Digital. That's our agency. We just do off-market deal flow for that. So that's really all we talk about week in, week out on these lunch and learns is tips from the playbook, what we see working, what we see not working in the business brokerage community, but really this is expanded into business acquisition and sale. So the search funders, the family office, the PE, that's really turned into a larger audience than the intermediaries over time. But the intermediaries is it's the crux of the platform. And so that's really where we'll always be laser focused. Updates, get on BizNexus if you haven't been there. There have been a ton of updates. They're still coming. We have a very active release schedule through the end of the summer. With BizNexus Concierge, we have really ramped up our team. So we have new members, we have new specialists, really excited about that and the offering. So that is a completely different, it's a completely different service than what it was just a quarter ago. So we're really excited about that just in terms of the resources that we have and what we've been able to accomplish here. Social selling for deal flow. This is the process that we cover week in, week out. Not going to dig into this slide too much, but basically we see this as a long game, right? Especially today in such a crowded internet-driven world. Everyone is out there looking at acquisition entrepreneurship. They're looking to get in front of sellers. Business owners are looking to grow through acquisition. Business brokers obviously going for the same target, looking at business owners. How do you separate yourself from this very, very competitive environment? You do it over time. And you start by getting in front of these sellers early, introducing yourself, and then nurturing them, right? And so I'm not going to go into this process again, but go into the past lunch and learns. If you want to learn this process, start from the first lunch and learn and work your way up. That's the best way to really get everything if you have the time. We've really gone through a lot of the playbook that we've used for the agency. So if you have the time to do it yourself, you can do a lot of this yourself. We're going to skip that. The end goal of everything that we talk about, right, is to actually get the real world relationship, to get that proverbial cup of coffee, to sit down with a business owner, right, or a financial advisor, an accountant, whoever your referral prospect might be who can deliver you that end business owner. The end goal here is to make sure that you are getting in front of them and then presenting yourself in a manner that establishes you as a qualified authority in the world of business acquisition and sale, posting and nurturing in a way where your prospects will feel familiar with you, right? They'll feel like they know you, so that when they're actually ready to have that conversation about a business valuation or who their ideal buyer might be, they are thinking of you top of mind, right? You do this on an ongoing basis. You keep all pistons firing right here. All of this, it's a process. You keep that going on an ongoing basis, and that's going to position you to get that cup of coffee over time. So today, LinkedIn, this has come up. I think LinkedIn, the platform has really changed. We can just chat about that, what has happened, and how to adjust. And LinkedIn has gotten a lot more valuable for conversations over the past quarter, in my opinion, because of some of the changes that they've made. For a lot of people on the platform, I don't know if it's all of them at this point, but LinkedIn, when they make updates, they'll typically roll something out for a segment of their audience and then roll it out for the larger audience. And they started rolling out weekly connection limitations. And I think a lot of this may have been around, I don't know, people are saying that the LinkedIn hack that occurred, or have foreign agents been using LinkedIn profiles for spying, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever it is, they have reduced the daily connection limits they've changed that to weekly connection limits. And that winds up being much more valuable because people have been coming back to the platform and actually engaging with real conversations. And for a while there during COVID, it just turned into a cesspool, right? And it still is to a degree, but this is a good move for LinkedIn because I think it really helps with engagement with valuable networks, which is what we're all looking for. So how do we get traction with the curated networks that we've been talking about for a very long time here on these Lunch and Learns, right? So if you're building up a network with your target business owner and the referral prospects who matter when it comes to delivering that target business owner on an ongoing basis, how do you make sure that when you're posting, you are staying in front of those prospects, your message is getting in front of those prospects, you're staying top of mind with all of these end prospects and referral prospects? And one mistake that I've seen just over and over and over again is with clients in particular, but I think in the business brokerage industry, this is a common issue. It's not just about posting, right? It's not about posting. It's about making sure that your profile is staying top of mind. So if you can, like if you're direct messaging prospects, or if you're getting direct messaged, whenever you respond to one of these messages, LinkedIn sees that, the algorithm sees that. And so when you post, whoever it is you're communicating with is going to be much more likely to actually see your message. So don't ignore that, right? If you're getting DM'd from prospects, make sure you're staying on that. When you post, these are just random tips here. When you post, if you can at a few trusted fans, I know some of you out there routinely at me, and I'll usually try to throw a like in or a comment. If you can get the engagement within the first 5 minutes, really, but let's say the first hour is the magic window. If you can get some clicks and shares, or just a click and a comment, even if it's just a few, that will dramatically impact the viewability of your post, right? LinkedIn will see that. It'll see that it's content that is engaging and relevant, and it will boost that out to who it thinks will enjoy that content, who will find that content relevant. Generally speaking, don't be salesy on LinkedIn. Make sure you're being genuine. Make sure you're trying to be helpful. This is the beginning of the relationship, right? LinkedIn is really great for getting in front of these seller relationships early, right? For getting in front of these seller relationships early. That doesn't mean you're going after someone who just got into business, right? Ideally, you're targeting people who have certain headcount, who have been in the business owner saddle for a certain amount of time. You're using metrics that would help identify a business owner who should be nearing the that time when they should be thinking about evaluation or succession plans, et cetera. But when you're getting in front of them, that relationship is early, right? So you need to make sure that you're establishing yourself as a trustworthy and credible connection, as a trustworthy and credible colleague, right? Once you're in network. So don't go straight to being salesy. Make sure that you're establishing that value over time. We're going to show you some tips how to do that today. If you're posting and you want to amplify your post, I've always said that a powerful intro hook is really helpful for that, because when you post, if here, I'll just pop over to LinkedIn, see what we've got here. If I look at one of these posts, let's see, there's got to be a good one here somewhere. If you see a post that has a click more, so this, right? If this were a really engaging opening line, then I'll click more. The second I click more there, LinkedIn is going to recognize that and they're going to boost the viewability of that post. So making sure you start with an engaging sentence, that actually really does help. That helps with viewability. Hashtags, using hashtags. A lot of business brokers are still confused as to why hashtags are relevant. I get it. But you know, at the end of the day, the hashtags will help classify you. It'll help categorize you. The algorithm works on hashtags, right? So if you're getting suggested content, why is that happening? Well, one of the big determinants with what content is being shown to you in your newsfeed, it's based on hashtags. So if you're clicking on something like, you know, I don't know, a post about growing your SaaS company, you'll see maybe the LinkedIn algorithm is looking at, you know, the profile of the person who posted, the title of the post, and then the hashtags that are associated with that post. So if there's hashtag SaaS, it's going to see that you're interested in SaaS hashtags, and it's going to continue to show that content. And then when you post content, it'll show that to people who have shown interest in that content as well. Why does that matter? If you have a focus, so if you're a business broker and you're selling SaaS companies, you want to make sure that your content is actually being pushed out to everyone who's interested in SaaS, ideally business owners who run SaaS companies. So this is something that helps categorize you and helps categorize your posts. So that's why hashtags matter. And we can get into that if you have questions at the end of the presentation. Choosing the right topic, responding to comments. If you get a comment on your post, respond to that ASAP. That's going to, again, boost the visibility of your post. With every response, the algorithm recognizes that and boosts your posts. And then if you're going to have a link, if you're going to link somewhere, don't actually do that in the body of your post. Just experiment with this. Try putting the link in the first comment of your post. So instead of adding a link to your post, just say, you know, link in comments, and just play with that and see if you get a noticeable increase in your number of views. We've done that. It's worked really well. That's a nice little hack. So let's just go through some of the other tips today. A long time ago, at the beginning of the pandemic, I went through Gary Vee's $1.80 strategy and applied that to business brokerage. So let's just talk about that today and apply it to deal origination, right? So for anyone who's looking to get in front of the sellers at the right moment, right? How can we apply this strategy? If you're not familiar with Gary Vee, check him out online. He's he's someone who you could definitely model with your social posting and your social strategy, because he's just done so well with it with his business. He's built an empire off of his obsession with social media, and a lot of this can be applied to business acquisition and sale. The philosophy is, if you drop your 2 cents about 9 posts separated by 10 different hashtags 90 times a day, you're getting $1.80, right? Obviously, business brokers don't have the time to do that, but the process works, and it's a great guide for your posting. If you're leveraging a curated network over time, right, which we've all been doing, this type of strategy will help ensure that your messaging is actually getting in front of that network, right? So that network isn't just getting stale, that these people in that network are actually seeing your posting on an ongoing basis. That's the goal, right? So, what's realistic as a business broker when it comes to the $1.80 Instagram strategy? First of all, we're doing it on LinkedIn. We don't care about Instagram. And you really want to just do this whenever you can. So 5 to 10 times a day, you want to go in and drop insightful comments that help establish you as a qualified authority in the world of business acquisition and sale. You want to do it in the right place, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that by hashtag. I'm going to show you how to do that by influencer. And we can potentially go through groups as well. If you're using sales nav lists, you can do that with your sales nav list. So your referral list, financial advisors, divorce attorneys, etc., your end prospect list, that can be very helpful for determining where you're dropping your 2 cents. So hashtags, we've gotten a lot of questions about those. Who cares, right? We went through why it matters. You want to first find the hashtags for the $1.80 strategy. Find the hashtags that are relevant to your business. So here are some. I just copied and pasted from hashtags I follow. Maybe you've got hashtag business ownership, hashtag small biz, hashtag exit strategy, right? If you're local, maybe you have hashtag location business, right? Find the hashtags that matter for you and your niche and follow them. And then you're going to be shown content and you can include those hashtags in your post. But you find these hashtags, right? Let's walk through some of this. So let's stick with the SaaS analogy. I'll say hashtag SaaS, okay? And then you have all of these options. I'm going to look at posts. I'm going to pop in here. And so let's pretend that I am an intermediary focused on SaaS companies. What I want to do is go through here and I want to in SaaS content, because somewhere in here in these 273 likes, I guarantee you there are SaaS founders who are commenting on this. And if I go through and I comment on this SaaS post, all 273 people are going to be exposed potentially to that comment. If you're doing it on an ongoing basis, that likelihood increases, right? So how do I comment? I haven't even read this post. Let's see. Subscription model, scalability. When implementing such a model, one needs to be mindful of a few things. Here are a few tips when going forward for a subscription model. So if I were an intermediary focused on SaaS, you put in an insightful comment about that SaaS model. So you're not trying to sell yourself, you're just trying to add value. And you do that over and over again with the content in these posts, right? So associated with this hashtag. If you go through and just set aside 5 to 10 minutes a day and you do this on an ongoing basis, you are going to get noticeably, you're going to get a noticeable increase in your network penetration in terms of your messaging, your brand getting out there. You'll start getting more likes, more views on your posts, especially when it comes to this hashtag. If you're following the SaaS hashtag religiously, whatever hashtag makes sense for you, and you're commenting on that, you're making yourself relevant in that world. And that's how you're going to continue to get the increased engagement, right? So that's the hashtag piece. And in the hashtag, obviously we're looking for the trending posts, right? So if you're just going to post, if you have time, let's say you have 5 minutes, how do you prioritize which posts you are going to leave comments on? Obviously, maybe not obviously, right? It's obvious once you've seen it in action. This is very simple stuff, but it yields results. If you're disciplined with this, you think of it like working out on an ongoing basis, just a few times a week, sit down for 10 minutes and do this. That's how you get the results. None of this is rocket science. But if you pop in here and you look for these posts, hashtag SaaS, 273 engagements, 164 comments, there we go. You want to post on that because you're going to be getting your brand in front of all those 273. 125, 212 comments, that's great. 520, 170 comments. 19.3, not so much. Don't worry about that one. 348, 108, yes, pop in there, do a comment. You're getting in front of all of those people who are interested in SaaS. That's how you make yourself relevant. Leaving your own 2 cents. Again, most people, even today, will still pop in there and do something salesy. Like, yes, I sell SaaS businesses. Contact me at and leave their number. Forget it. No one cares, right? If they go through your profile and your profile is set up correctly, that's going to sell itself, right? People will know what you do, who you are. See, when you post, look at this guy, Economic Night, financial consultant, EK, Business Roundtable. I don't know what that is, right? So ideally your title, again, is stupid simple, speaks to the croc brain. So when you post, it's going to say, I sell great businesses, something that like clearly tells me this is somebody who sells businesses, or I'm looking to acquire the perfect business, right? Somebody who is looking to acquire potentially my business if I see it. That's why this title matters here. But this is a good comment. It's enough, right? It just says, hey, I know what I'm talking about and I'm contributing something. Do that on an ongoing basis. Don't turn it into a salesy pitch. No one's going to go through and just call now because they see your comment on a post. You're killing your brand. You're not accomplishing what we're looking to accomplish. That's really it today, guys. That's all I wanted to go through, is just an ongoing process. It's not just posts. We see a lot of people who are spending so much time crafting the perfect post, but they're not doing anything with engagement, right? There are 2 ways to do this. You can create content, you can create your own post, or you can engage with other people's content. And engaging with other people's content is much more scalable. So if you pop in and just do what I've showed you there with relevant hashtags, with the relevant influencers. If you're building that curated network over time of business owners, financial advisors, accountants, lawyers, whoever your referral prospects are, if you're building up that network and you're just doing this and you're posting maybe, once a week, once a month, hopefully it's once a week. But if you're engaging, this is really helpful for staying top of mind with your entire network, because if you're doing it on these targeted posts with the engagement, that's going to get amplified. Your network's going to see that. When I log into LinkedIn, I'm going to see the trending post in my newsfeed, and I'm going to see, your comment highlighted on that trending post. And ideally, when I see that, I see a title that makes sense to me. I sell great businesses, and I see a comment that helps me think of you as a qualified authority in this area, right? Someone who I would want to talk to if I'm ever going to sell my business. That's the process. Keep it genuine. The goal is to make sure that these prospects over time will feel like they know you, so they're much more likely to pick up the phone and suggest a coffee. You don't want to outsource the commenting. Definitely don't outsource this to people who are not native speaking English, right? But don't outsource this at all. That's my opinion. If you really want to do this, set aside 10 minutes 3 times a week and just do this on your own with your voice. And that's where we see this really be successful for the people who can take that time to do it. So that's it, guys. Just to recap from the road. Hope it was valuable. We'll be back in the office next week. And if you have any feedback, if you have anything that you want us to cover, please let us know, because we are shaping these on that feedback week in, week out. So see you next week, guys. Hope it was helpful. Thanks.